right, thanks, guys. Hey, real quick, I need you to subscribe to my channel right now. I need you to subscribe to it right now. And the reason why I say that is I ran an analytics report yesterday on YouTube. And I ran a report. My sample size was over the past 3 months, so 90 days. And I was pretty surprised to see what I found. Out of my total views over the past 3 months, 55% of my total views came from unsubscribed viewers. And that's not a problem. I'm glad you guys are watching the videos. I'm happy to have anybody watch them. But if you find yourself watching my content every single day, I gotta have you as a subscriber. I gotta ask you to hit that subscribe button. It takes you literally 1 second. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit the like button and go ahead and hit the notification bell as well. That way you're notified whenever my uploads come up. But ultimately, the most importantly, guys, if you're watching me every single day and you're not subscribed, I gotta have you. I gotta have you subscribed. That's just going to ensure that I'm going to be able to keep doing these videos in the long run. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate that. You know me, over the past couple of years, far from pushy. I'm not pushy, but I need you to subscribe right now. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and dive into some NBA action here today. We got a pretty good slate, some very interesting matchups. So let's go ahead and dive into it. We're going to start with the Knicks taking on the Hornets, and that'll be a 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in the Queen City, Charlotte. Believe it or not, there's 2 Queen Cities as far as I know, Charlotte and Cincinnati. I remember calling Charlotte the Queen City once, and somebody said, no, it's Cincinnati. But anyway, that really doesn't matter because the Knicks are the 1-point favorite on the road, total at 206. And we did see a flip of the line in this one. The Knicks actually opened up as the 1.5-point dog. No surprise there. Actually, thought they would probably end up catching more money. But anyway, the Knicks open plus 1.5, now -1. Total open 206.5, down to 206 even. The Hornets are plus 105 on the money line. Now Charlotte, losers of 7 out of their last 10. And believe it or not, they scored 87 points or less in 3 out of their last 5. Really struggling to put points on the board. They ranked dead last in scoring on average per game, dead last in offensive field goal percentage. They're averaging just 102 points per contest, and out of their 26 home games this year, they've been victorious in just 8 of them. Now, we are looking at a Hornets team who ranks in the bottom 10 in offensive rebounding as well, bottom 10 in defensive field goal percentage. They're 11-15 against the spread at home, and they are currently in 11th place in the Eastern Conference. Now, the Knicks on the other side, I know they're terrible. A lot of guys have come into the comment section and said, I wouldn't back them if they were playing a high school team. But guys, the Knicks have successfully covered the point spread in 6 out of their last 8. They covered against Houston, Orlando, and Indiana during that stretch. They also rank in the top 10 in offensive rebounding, and they're 17-12 against the spread when they travel. Now, the Knicks went 4-2 to the under in their last 6. Meanwhile, Charlotte 5-0 to the under in their last 5. I'm going to lean toward the slight road favorite in this one. I'm going to lean Knicks -1 and the under 206 in that contest. Next game, Sixers versus the Cavaliers, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Cleveland. The Sixers are favored by 7.5 on the road, total at 220. We did see a 0.5-point move toward Philly and movement upward on the total. The Sixers open as the 7-point favorite, up to -7.5. Total open 219.5, up to 220. Right now, the Cavs are plus 260 on the money line. Now, Cleveland, believe it or not, winners of 3 out of their last 4. They also went 4-2 against the number in their last 6, covering against the likes of Miami and OKC during that stretch. Now, believe it or not, guys, the Cavaliers rank in the top 5 in defensive rebounding. Now, Exum and McKinney are listed as out for tonight's action. Not so sure that matters, though, because Philadelphia, they are amongst the worst road teams in all of the land. Just 9-20 straight up when they travel. 8-21 against the spread in that same category. Ben Simmons, he's been officially ruled out indefinitely, struggling with that back injury. Who knows, it could end up being something else. Hopefully not for Ben Simmons, but we're looking at a Sixers squad who is just 40% against the spread in their last 10. They rank at the bottom 10 in road scoring, bottom 10 in road offensive field goal percentage. Now, 4 out of Philly's last 6 games did get over the number. Meanwhile, Cleveland 17-13 to the over on their home court. I'm going to lean toward the home dog in this one. Give me the Cavs plus 7.5 and the over 220 in that contest. Next game, Nets, Wizards, 7 o'clock, Washington. Brooklyn's minus 1.5 on the road, total 235. We're seeing money on Washington and the under. We saw a 1-point fade of Brooklyn and movement downward on the total. The Nets open 2.5 down to minus 1.5. Total open 235 and a hook down to 235 even. Right now the Wizards are plus 105 at home. And if you like the Wizards in this game here, just keep in mind they lost their last 3 straight. They rank in the bottom 3 in offensive rebounding, and they're 16 games under 500, 4.5 games back of Orlando for that 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. Now Washington, they rank dead last in points allowed on average per game, bottom 3 in defensive field goal percentage. They're giving up 120 points per contest, and unfortunately Davis Bertans, he is listed as questionable tonight, struggling with a knee injury. Now Brooklyn on the other side, they successfully covered the number in 6 out of their last 8. They also rank the top 5 in offensive field goal percentage. Guys, Brooklyn, they snuck up to the 7th seed. So if the season ended today, they'd be in the playoffs. They'd be playing the 2 seed. They are 1.5 games ahead of Orlando for that 7th spot. They rank in the top 5 in defensive field goal percentage, top 10 in defending the 3 ball. Spencer Dinwiddie, 21 points a game, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Karis LeVert, 16 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists for him. And Joe Harris, 14 points a game, 4 rebounds for this Brooklyn squad. The Nets rank in the top 3 in road offensive rebounding, top 5 in road defensive field goal percentage, and they are 16-12 against the spread, taking on teams under 450. Now, 2 out of Brooklyn's last 3 did get over the number. Washington, 60% to the over in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward another road team. Give me Brooklyn minus 1.5. And the over 235 in that game. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Wednesday's NBA action. Happy Wednesday to you. Hopefully you're having a great week. And if you're not, well, that's okay. It's hump day. And the weekend is right around the corner. We are halfway there. Now, before we go ahead and move on, just got to quickly remind you guys once again to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where once again we do daily premium sports picks on that website, beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. We improved to 6-1 in our last 7 extra daily picks on that site. So out of the past week, we won 6 extra daily picks. And of course, that's a package that I offer that's just $2.99 through the end of the month. Now, guys, we are 9-1 in our last 10 NBA tier package plays on Patreon. A lot of good stuff going on there. Now, we did struggle a little bit yesterday. We had 5 premium picks. We only won 2 of them. So definitely not something we're looking to do every single day, but it is always nice to improve in a couple different categories. Once again, overall, 2-3 on the day, not what we're looking to do. It is a losing day. But once again, we are red hot in that NBA tier package. And the good news is I have another NBA tier package play going off tonight. Guys, we have over 1,150 members that are active on that Patreon website. If you want to check out my current record, you can do that for free right now. It is right on the homepage. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. Once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, enough with the commercial. Let's go ahead and dive into some more free lines and personal leans right here on YouTube. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Minnesota taking on the Heat, 7:30 Miami. Miami's minus 10, total 228. We are seeing money on the Heat and money on the over. Half a point move toward Miami, half a point move toward the over. Once again, the Heat open 9.5 up to minus 10. Total open 228 up to 228 and a hook. Miami very good at home this year, 23-3 straight up on their home court, 18-8 against the spread in that same category, which is equally as impressive because they're always laying points at home. Anyway, Miami, 4th place in the Eastern Conference, 15 games over 500, and they are just 4 games back of Boston for the 3rd seed. Now, Miami ranks in the top 10 in offensive field goal percentage, top 3 in shooting the 3 ball. Now, keep in mind, Leonard and Hero are out indefinitely, and Jimmy Butler has been listed as questionable, so keep an eye on him. A Jimmy Butler-less Miami team laying double digits could potentially be problematic. Now, I'm I'm hopeful that he's going to be in tonight's action. But anyway, regardless of if he's in or out, Goran Dragic, 16 points a game, 5 assists for the Heat. Bam Adebayo, 16 points a game, double-digit rebounds. As a matter of fact, he's averaging 11 boards a game, 5 assists. And Kendrick Nunn, where did this guy come from? 16 points a game, 4 assists for Kenny Nunn. We're looking at a Heat squad who ranks in the top 3 in defensive rebounding, and they are first in the NBA in shooting the 3-ball at home. They're averaging 111 points per contest in the friendly confines. They're also giving up just 106 points per contest when they're home as well. Now, the T-Wolves, you guys know the deal with them. Just ice cold. One of the worst teams in the association. Losers of their last 5 straight. 2-8 against the spread in their last 10. They failed to cover the spread against the likes of Charlotte, Atlanta, and Sacramento twice during that stretch. Minnesota ranks in the bottom 5 in points allowed, and they're currently second to last in the Western Conference. They're actually competing. They're in the run for worst record in the entire NBA. So if they keep it going, they will be worse than the Warriors. But anyway, Minnesota 6-1 to the over in their last 7. Miami 4-0 to the over in their last 4. I'm going to lean Miami Heat -10 in the over 228.5 in that game. All right, next match.